everybody, I'll be here for game 1 of this first match. So let's begin. We get to choose, I'll play. We got a temple, a forest, a voyaging satyr, 3 Temur Ascendancies, and a Genesis Hydra. I think that might be too much fluff for me, but we do have 3 pieces of the combo, so I'll try this hand out even though I may not keep it in normal situations. We'll start out with the temple. Eidolon on top. We're not too far off of that with Voyaging Satyr, so I'll keep it. It could be pretty good at letting these Temur Ascendancies not be dead. And we're going to need a red source for that. Hardest source to get with this deck is the blue source anyway, so I'm kind of glad I have it. Don't really know what I'm playing against. It could be the mirror, it could be something else. Regardless, Thornwood Falls isn't really threatening my satyr. I just hope I draw land. It might have been right to bottom this Eidolon, because if I don't draw land at this point, or my Voyaging Satyr dies, I could be in some serious trouble. I drew a Frontier Bivouac, which I can actually use, untap, and then play a Temur Ascendancy. So I'll do that. So now if we draw land next turn, we can wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're still off of drawing a card with Genesis Hydra, but we can still cast Eidolon next turn. I think it's just Eidolon here. He could have like Disdainful Stroke or something here. He's playing a lot of tapped lands, so I don't know what he's main decking. Drew another Temur Ascendancy. This is really important that my Eidolon sticks here, because I need to, not lose card advantage with these Temur Ascendancies, which I've been a little unfortunate in grabbing. Ugh. It was a good read by my opponent. I still have no idea what the hell he's playing. It looks like just a bad Temur, I guess. I guess one thing is, if I play all 4 Temur Ascendancies and I play a creature with power 4, I get to draw 4 cards. So maybe that's okay. Regardless, I think I'm going to hold these Hydras, or at least one of them, until I have the ability to draw a card with it with Temur Ascendancy, which I could do now. Actually, it's not bad. You may put 1 into play, and since it's enter the battlefield, not cast, if I get a Temur Sabertooth, I can draw another card. Maybe I want to do that. 5. Actually, I still don't have enough, do I? Yeah, I'm still 1 off. So I'll tap it like this and play another Temur Ascendancy. I'm sure this is not getting countered. I could attack, but that runs into Boon Satyr. Oh, well. I wouldn't attack in this situation. So I'm not going to change that even based on the fact that he had changed his life counter before I actually attacked. Because in real life, I think playing around Boon Satyr is more important than 1 damage in this situation. So we can use another mana for these Genesis Hydras to start going big, going very big. But if our Voyaging Satyr dies, then we're just going to go for it. Sure. Which means I'm going to cast a Genesis Hydra next turn, since Voyaging Satyr is under threat. Caryatid's not a bad draw. The question is, do I want a Genesis Hydra for 1, 2? Do I want Genesis Hydra for 2, or Genesis Hydra for 3? Genesis Hydraing for 2 lets me play Caryatid as well. Hydraing for 3. I don't think there are actually too many 3-drops left in my deck having the Ascendancies out. So I'm going to play the Caryatid and use Satyr to untap a forest. And use 4. Play Genesis Hydra for 2. This is not the most important. Wait, hold on, do I? So reveal the top cards. I suppose non-lands, so I missed both. Though it would have been good to draw this Foothills. I suppose I'll put the Bivouac on the bottom first, and the Foothills on the bottom second. And I could attack, but I won't. Maybe his Pelucranos goes to eat the Genesis Hydra so he can force through more damage. It'll allow us to play Genesis Hydra next turn for enough to draw 2 cards and potentially attack. If he wants to kill the Genesis Hydra, he'll have to pretty much tap out. Which I could see him doing. It also could be right for him to eat the Voyaging Satyr, but he may be not encouraged to do so. Knuckleblade, yeah. So we're playing against like a Temur aggro deck, which is not a great matchup, especially if I draw 4 Temur Ascendancies, as the card is fairly dead. And we drew all 4 of them, which is not where the situation was idealized. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this game, but whatever. Kept a hand we probably shouldn't have. It's just something to learn. And got a little unlucky with the draws. Acolyte isn't terrible. But it still costs 1 mana, which keeps me off of Genesis Hydraing for 4. So that's just not acceptable. 4. Ascendancy trigger, ascendancy trigger. I get my own Pelucranos. Just move these to the bottom. And this is a 4/4. Now I could swing for 9, but then I could lose on the crackback, so time to pass the turn. We bottomed Genesis Hydra and lost one, have one in play right now. So the big question is when he attacks both. If Pelucranos blocks Pelucranos, he can use it to monsters on the Voyaging Satyr for 2. Voyaging Satyr hits back for 1, and then he just eats the Pelucranos. If Genesis Hydra blocks on here, and he does this Pelucranos trick, they'll trade, so odds are he'll do a pump here and rather than try and eat my Pelucranos. But I could see either being right. Either way, if I block here, a trade will be forced. Okay, I assume Pelucranos is... Yep. I can't block Knuckle Blades, so I have to take the 2-for-1 here with Genesis on Pelucranos. It's good that I have this, but it's such an important tool at this point that I kind of have to keep it back. At this point, it looks like chump blocking is my best option. I could run out the second Voyaging Satyr, I don't really need it. I could run out of Caryatid as well. Well, let's see, if I run out Caryatid, then run out Karametra's Acolyte. Karametra's will tap for 4, and I could play this Voyaging Satyr. Yeah. And pass. This is probably the safest play, because Caryatid can't be killed and by removal spells, so if Voyaging Satyr can't chump block, I can use Caryatid instead. Though I'm going to lose both, because I should block the Boon Satyr. If he has another Boon Satyr, he could Flash Bestow. If he has a Crater's Claws, I'm dead anyway, but, you know, whatever. I just don't want to lose to another Boon Satyr. That's weird. Okay. So this turn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, theoretically. And with a Genesis Hydra for 8, I will be able to hit a second blocker, but not a third. So I can instead do it for 7, keeping Voyaging Satyr back to block the Frostwalker. Genesis Hydra for 7, which can block the Knuckleblade, and hit something that can block the Boon Satyr. Oh, actually, this taps for more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Could Ascendancy first. And then Genesis for 5. That's not good enough. For 9. Ascendancy triggers. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hey, it's the missing piece, right? Karametras, Temur Ascendancy, Genesis Hydra, Temur Sabertooth. Excellent. So I'll grab a Sabertooth and move these to the bottom. And Temur Ascendancy's trigger, since it enters the battlefield, it doesn't have to be cast. Now I can lose the Sabertooth, I have a backup one. Cool, so we just have to live through next turn. And then we're gonna go off. Can we do it? I feel like Bob the Builder here. Can we do it? Let's see if we're as good of a builder as Bob. Because he can. Can we? Singing Bellstrike was also a consideration because it can hit Frostwalker, but with 2 Temur Ascendancies out, but getting the Temur Ascendancy, getting the Temur Sabertooth in play not only completes the combo, but lets me draw 2 more cards. So that was just too big to pass up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 current devotion to green. Even after bouncing a Genesis Hydra, I would have 7, so I'm good to go. Please. He has 1 card in hand. If it's Creator's Clause, we lose. If it's not, then I win. Considering he hasn't tapped out to, just Creator's Clause my face yet. Whew. This is stressful. He has no good attacks this turn. He can kill the Sabertooth, but that's not good enough because I drew another one. Dun, dun, dun. Bouncing Savage Knuckleblade, okay. Damage is dealt. Dies. Dies. I lose a little bit of devotion actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'll be fine. Yeah, we've gone off. Oh, this will be exciting. My first time going off with this deck. Does this say May? Yeah, cool. Okay, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just making sure I'm not screwing anything up. He's tapped out, so I'm just gonna do it simply. And grab Nylea to give him trample. Where is she? We got there! With a terrible, terrible draw. Oh, that's exciting. So in this matchup, the Hunter isn't bad. Doesn't seem amazing. What seems bad? I mean, we comboed off that game, which was pretty cool, but I think we can go down to 3 Temur Ascendancies. I just don't want to draw too many of them in this matchup. And I could just not change too much. I can put in both the Hunters. And take out an Eidolon. Sure, we'll run that, see how it goes. So, taps land turn 1, we have a Courser and Eidolon. We have a Voyaging Satyr and a Bellstrike. So we have parts of the combo, but mostly just a nice defensive hand with some draw engines. Oh. Lead off with the tapped land. I can also play an Ascendancy if I draw it, since I have all three of my sources. It might be worth considering playing Eidolon of Blossoms on turn 3, rather than Courser, so we can chain Eidolon into Courser for more card advantage. Though Courser earlier on could end up getting me some life that could end up mattering in this matchup. Oh, shit. Undo last draw. So yeah, Voyaging Satyr leading out here. It might have been right to play Yavimaya instead of Forest, and the reason I say that is it doesn't do me any more damage, and he's more encouraged to kill a Voyaging Satyr. Voyaging Satyr is pretty powerful with Frontier. It lets me have all my sources, and if I play Yavimaya, he knows that I pretty much already have all my sources. It turns out he would have done that anyway, but it's just a slight mental recalculation for him. So yeah, I'm going to lead off with the Yavimaya here, get all my sources down, and then I'll be able to play Wooded Foothills, which has a lot of good synergy with Courser. So our game plan was not really hindered. He doesn't have blue sources. And we couldn't really go into Eidolon into Courser if we didn't, unless we didn't play anything this turn, which is just too much of an anti-tempo loss. Ooh, is he going to attack with it? Okay. I was very curious for a second there. We could just drop this forest down, play Eidolon. We could also play Temur Sabertooth. I think Eidolon and, well, they both give 2 devotion. Well, let's see what's on the top card of the deck. Yeah, I kind of want to draw that with Eidolon here, because we won't be able to hit it off of Courser next turn. Also gets this engine going, so I can play Singing Bellstrike and draw a card later. Ugh, so many lands on top. That's not ideal. I'll pass turn. He's stuck on red and green right now. He doesn't have his blue. I can count that most of his blue lands were tapped lands last game, so odds are he won't be able to run out a Savage Knuckleblade at me. Wild Slash on Eidolon. This probably means he's playing 4 Wild Slash, which I don't agree with, but you know, everybody makes their own decisions. Oh, holy shit, I didn't gain life off my land. Wow, that's dumb. Okay, well, I'm blocking. Whoa, really? Okay. Huh. Well, he missed his Shaman trigger, so we're all good in this hood. Drawn a few cards now. Might be right to Bellstrike this Shaman. It looks like he missed a land drop, so can take advantage of that. I also want to thin my deck from lands. There's only one more target for this Wooded Foothills, so I'd rather, run out this Foothills and use it while I still can. I'm going to Bell Strike here. Since Temur Sabertooth is the part of the combo that also is singing Bell Strike, I really don't need this Bell Strike to do anything but play defense. That's 4. Costs... oh, drawing a card. If my opponent wants to spend his turn drawing a card, I am very fine with that. I'm gonna run out Courser. Yeah. I'm gonna go to see if I can get some card advantage here, but Voyaging Satyr is actually really good. Because I have the Nykthos in hand, Temur Sabertooth just means that I'm one ascendancy off from going off. So I guess I run out Mountain here, gain a life. And pass turn. Hey, there's Ascendancy. So I can play Temur Sabertooth this turn. Then, I can't run out Nykthos and add 4 to play Voyaging Satyr this turn. But I don't think that matters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need both Sabertooths out to go off. I'll lead off with a Forest so I can use the Sabertooth ability without cracking my Foothills. Oh, and I gain a life. My bad. Sabertooth. He's stuck on red and green still, so he can't counter that. And I will swing? Yeah, I'll swing. If he wants to play a land to spend his entire turn on tapping Shaman of the Great Hunt, then I can then respond with, or I can give Sabertooth indestructible by bouncing the Courser, which only stalls me off for 1 turn, but it's worth it since I kill this creature. And relieve a lot of pressure. That extra time is made up for in spades because I, have the extra, the pressure off of me. I now have all the pieces I need for the combo. It's just a matter of playing them all. Actually, I need a Genesis Hydra too. Actually, I don't because I have 2 Temur Sabertooths. Okay, he's going to draw 2 cards. That's fine. Fine way to spend your turn. Yeah, what we could do here is... Ugh, I need another devotion though. We'll see how this goes. Well, there's the Genesis Hydra. So everything's fallen into my lap. So that could be used for Ascendancy. Then we can play Sabertooth. Actually, we can play Ascendancy, then Nykthos, and Voyaging Satyr. Wait, so if we play Voyaging Satyr, Nykthos, Temur Ascendancy, that requires cracking the foothills. Thinking. That requires cracking the foothills to activate the Nykthos. And the Nykthos would activate for a good amount, but the biggest problem with that is we don't leave up Sabertooth activation. But we're not doing that regardless of the play we do this turn, which may be something worth considering doing. Maybe I just play a Sabertooth this turn, play Nykthos and pass. I'm not in a rush to play these cards, and I'd rather keep my devotion count high. Yeah, that'll be my plan for this turn. I lose a bit of card advantage, but I think it's fine. And he can't counter that. I'm leaving up one activation, now two if I want to, since this Foothills has a green source left to get. And now I just need to survive attacks from this next turn. I like my odds this game. Whew, sweating bullets here. There's a chance we don't go off next turn too. If he has a third Wild Slash, he can just use it on our Voyaging Satyr when we start to go off. But I'm going to go for it anyway. We have all the tools. And we can actually bounce Voyaging Satyr back and recast it. I'll count the mana out in a second. Voyaging Satyr. On a Sabertooth? All it does is stall me. I'm just gonna use Temur Sabertooth and bounce this. But it does successfully stop me from going off next turn. It's just tempo plays. It's kind of an act of desperation by my opponent. Just run Pelucranos and Courser out. I suppose I should run Sabertooth and Courser out. Let's start with Courser. This is no longer indestructible. Reveal, always reveal top card. It's another Nykthos. So I can activate Nykthos, play Voyaging Satyr, activate Nykthos. Yeah, I'm not going to run Voyaging Satyr into a burn spell. But activating Nykthos nets me 4 mana here. Play second Nykthos, activate that, that's 6 mana. 7, 8. Can I go off this turn? So, okay, so if I use this, let's see. I play Voyaging, I play Temur Ascendancy and Voyaging Satyr. Still not enough mana. I'm still off. Ugh, that's annoying. So yeah, I'm gonna run out Polychronos using this Nykthos. And then I could replay this Nykthos, lose this one, but that serves no purpose. It only digs me deeper in my deck, which I don't need at this point. I just need to resolve my shit. I just need a turn of Devotion to stick, and then to play Ascendancy Satyr and win. I hope he's running low on burn spells. He's used 4. Shaman activation? Sure. My opponent's just been stuck on lands or sources this entire game. It's a little surprising his deck is made in such a way that he can't resolve anything with 7 cards in his hand and this mana. It feels incorrect to be activating Shaman this way. If he attacks with Moon Satyr, I'm just going to take it. Because Wild Slash and Crater's Claws are 2 cards that can kill my creatures post-combat. And I just want my Devotion to stick. And there's nothing he can really do to interact with me at this point. Alright, time to go off. Pay 1, Temur Ascendancy. You can't interact with that. So pay 2, Voyaging Satyr. Activate Nykthos. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Went off twice. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be back for another match.